and welcome to Off the Court. I'm Josh Lynch, your host, joined by Brian Mansell, co-host, as we got some great things coming to you live and direct on Off the Court. We got Zion Williamson going off last night to carry Duke into another March Madness win. We got LeBron and his Lakers shockingly missing the playoffs, and we got DAngelo Russell emerging as the lone star for the Nets right before our very eyes. All that and more we promise to you on Off the Court. Brian, how you doing, man?
Doing great.
Doing great?
Yep, March Madness has me going insane.
Yeah, March Madness is looking crazy this year. What's your take out of all that, man? There's so many storylines to go off of for March Madness. We got Zion, Jamorant. We got so many things, man. What's your take out of there so far?
Well, if we have to talk about March Madness here, the first thing I want to discuss is the perfect brackets that we're surviving. Usually the brackets don't survive past the first round.
Not at all.
This year, it was different. They lasted, believe, through 39 games total before the last one was finally broken. I mean, it's insane how that happens.
It is insane. But let's kind of get off, the charts with the whole March Madness talk, and let's kind of buckle down on one guy by the name of Zion Williamson. Duke's freshman tandem of Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett literally saved the top-ranked Blue Devils against UCF from a second-round upset on Sunday. Williamson's contested lay-in with 14 seconds remaining cut UCF's lead to just one. Then Barrett handled the rest, rebounding Williamson's missed free throw and putting it back in to give the Blue Devils the go-ahead basket to beat the number 9 Knights 77-76, but not without a fight from UCF in the final seconds. Take a look at this.
Out to Williamson. Thought about it. Dawkins trying to guard him. That's a three to tie it. Rattles out. Delorier.
Wasting a lot of time. You end up sending.
Williamson driving in on Taco. And that's going to knock down the fall as the basket goes.
Team on your shoulder. Big time delivery. How about those onions, Grant?
Woo! A free throw to tie it. 5 out of 6 at the line. Missed it. Comes up short, Duke. Barrett follows it up for the lead.
And
with 11 seconds. Here we go. Inbound out to Taylor. Jones is on him. Taylor driving in, banks it up. No, put back, in and out. And Duke survives just barely.
So as you just saw that, Brian, what's your take on that whole game? It was so many branches on what to go off of, seeing that whole game. I mean, I watched the game over and over again about 3 times just to get a look and see how the Blue Devils pulled this one off. I mean, UCF was supposed to win this, man. What you think?
I looked this game over and over just like you. I watched it full the first time, and then I watched the last 5 minutes 2 more times because those last 5 minutes really determined what happened in the game. Because if you look carefully in the last 15 seconds, Zion Williamson went to go charge to the basket, and Taco Fall was standing his ground. 7'6" against a 6'5" guy, and he charges through him and gets the bucket and the and one.
Hey, listen, if Taco Fall didn't get fouled out, I think it would have been a different game here.
Absolutely. Taco Fall put up 15 points and 6 rebounds in 25 minutes. Imagine if he played the full game.
What's crazy is I was reading reports. It said Zion, they didn't say he was struggling, but they said his game kind of altered due to how tall Taco Fall is. You talk about 7'6". That's a giant. Wingspan at 8'4". As athletic as Zion Williamson is, I mean, he's not a superhero. I mean, you can't stop 7'6". That's unbelievable.
Yeah, height always plays an issue. Even though with that issue, he couldn't score really well in the paint as well, but he still was able to put up a double-double in a full 40 minutes, which is 32 points and 11 rebounds.
11 rebounds, double-double like it was nothing. That's something he does on a regular, too. It's insane. Yeah. It just makes you think of, I mean, who do you think could stop him in the NBA? Let's go off topic a little bit.
I don't know. It's incredibly hard to determine.
Scary.
The only one I think that can really stop him is someone who has the strength to stop him. Usually I would think of popular centers like Andre Drummond or DeMarcus Cousins, people like that.
Marcus Cousins. I like that matchup, him and Zion Williamson. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. Let's talk about that guy Dawkins, though, on UCF. He played, I think, the game of his life for this season. Had 32 points. I think he had about 14 rebounds. He was the heart and soul of that UCF team. What's your take out of Dawkins? Coach's son, by the way, as well.
Well, R.B. Dawkins had a phenomenal game, 32 points in 40 minutes. He's the only player on the team to put up for 40 minutes in general.
Is it bad that I never heard of him, though?
Maybe it might be, but In this game, he definitely showed up and he showed out. He showed his
showed out,
versatility as a guard and how he could possibly be a big prospect in the coming years.
He has all the skills. I mean, he was shooting, he was driving off fast breaks. The guy was unstoppable. He's quick. And like I said, when he attacks that rim, he attacks that rim. He was going at R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson, like they were nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was watching him, I'm just like, whoa, who is this guy? They said he was Coach's son. By the way, I didn't know Dawkins was a former player for Coach K, by the way, too. He's an All-American for Duke, by the way.
I wasn't aware of that either. Joe,
Yeah.
is that true?
Yeah, it's pretty true.
By the way, this is Joe. This is Joe, our fact checker right here. Professional fact checker. This is what he does.
I fact checked.
Listen, whatever Joe says goes. But UCF, man, overall, I thought they played a great game. Even Coach K had to give them props. He said that was one of the most memorable NCAA tournament games that he's ever coached in his life. And I can see that because that game was just thrilling, man. Like I told you, I watched the game over and over.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think the best way to sum it up is a quote that was made from the New Mexico State game when New Mexico State lost on those multiple opportunities that they
remember that.
could not capitalize on. At the end of the game, the winning coach said, "We just get lucky sometimes."
Lucky is right. That's how March Madness goes, man.
Yep.
Let's move on, though. The case of DAngelo Russell. Remember DAngelo Russell, the number 2 pick in the 2015 draft? He was traded within 2 years, was already considered a bust, in which the Lakers actually put him as a decoy to get rid of the Nets in taking Timothy Mozgov. Well, there's this guy now, DAngelo Russell, as I stated, dropped 32 points against the Clippers, 10 rebounds. Night after that, he had 44 points against the Kings. Then he had 20 in leading the Lakers. I'm sorry, not the Lakers, the Nets. I keep forgetting he's not on the Lakers. And leading the Nets to beat the Lakers to crush their hopes of going to the playoffs for this season. What's your take on DAngelo Russell, man? He's looking like a whole different breed now.
After the early struggles he had with the Lakers and the injury he suffered, what was it, last season or the season before?
What was his injury? Ankle injury?
I believe it was an ankle injury, yeah. He came back this season and he was looking for some revenge. I mean, I think him
for revenge, all right.
and Dinwiddie together as point guards, probably the most dangerous duo I've seen at
It's a
guard
crazy tandem.
in the NBA.
Dinwiddie's highly underrated. Highly underrated.
Yes.
And don't forget LeVert. I mean, he's not 100% healthy, but I feel like if the Nets are able to keep him and he gets to 100% healthy, I mean, that's like a 3-guard tandem right there. That's like a 3-headed snake.
Yeah, look over at Karis LeVert before the season before he even got that really bad dislocation. You look at it over,
I thought he broke his leg, man.
everyone thought he broke his
I'm
leg.
like, that's it. That's it. I saw this number. Oh, goodness.
Yes. And Karis LeVert was putting up amazing numbers. He's averaging 20 points a game before that injury.
Yeah.
Now he comes back and he's not playing the same. Maybe it's because he's not 100%. We don't know. Maybe he's hitting a bad streak.
I do see a little drive in him, when he's playing, but he's definitely not 100%. I'll agree with you on that.
I
He's
think
not 100% at
when
all.
when he's 100% next season, they will be a lot better and they will be in a better spot.
Oh, definitely. Now, the Nets, I believe they're 32, 31. I could be wrong, 30. I'm not sure. Joe, 32, 31 are the Nets?
Yeah, 32-31.
Okay.
32-31.
Like I said, you heard it from Joe, man. Must be right. Now, the Nets, they're looking to attract 2 free agents. They have 2 max free slots for free agency next season. Do you think they have a little bit of edge over the Knicks in terms of getting possible superstars, maybe in Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Kawhi, anybody big?
Well,
Free agency time.
looking over everything with the situation, with the monetary value, you can say all you want about how much money you have to get players.
They got money.
Yeah, they're loaded. But the problem is, you have to get them there first. You have to recruit them and get them into the city.
Yeah.
You got to say, hey, Brooklyn, Barclays Center is the place to be. That's where you got to be. But they're struggling right now to recruit people.
They are. Why do you think it's mainly because of that, though?
That's hard to determine. Maybe it's because it's not really as big of a known team. The Nets,
It's
maybe
not Madison Square Garden.
Nets-
It's the Barclays,
Yeah, like the Nets, I believe, are the top 5, one of the top 5 most valuable franchises in the league.
Top 5.
Or top 10, one or the
There
other.
we go.
I think it's top 10, actually. My apologies. Joe, top 10?
No.
Oh, no.
Go
Listen,
Knicks.
man, the Nets, man, they're up to something good, though. Listen, Stephen A. raved about him. All these analysts are raving about him, and Honestly, it's just real interesting to see this team, come back. Last time they made the playoffs, I think Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce were on that roster. They lost, I think. No, they won first round against the Raptors. Then they lost to, I think it was the Celtics.
I believe so.
I digress, though, but the Nets are up to something good. I think they could upset somebody definitely in the playoffs.
Well,
First round, second round. I don't know if they'll make it past the second round, but they'll definitely, I think, make the playoffs. Now, back to DAngelo Russell. Let's talk about that Lakers-Nets game. We got some stats here, Brian. What's up?
Yes, we do. That Lakers-Nets game was a blowout for the Nets. I want to say DAngelo Russell got his revenge, which he did. He rightfully got his revenge. But the real star of that game was Joe Harris. 6 for 8 from the three-point line. I mean, that's just
Lights
incredible.
out, baby.
And he ended up putting up 26 points.
He had 26, really.
26 points in the game. The only other players that put up that many numbers was D. Russell with a double-double, 21 and 13 assists.
And Joe Harris, he was almost like, I wouldn't say unheard of, but he wasn't the guy who he was this year. You see this guy driving to the rack, he's aggressive. I mean, he's a whole different breed now, man.
Yeah. And in that game for the Lakers, JaVale McGee came out the start, actually.
JaVale McGee.
33 points and 20 rebounds.
It's the Shaq McFlure MVP right there.
Yeah, right there.
Listen,
Wow.
man, the Los Angeles Lakers, though, on the downside for them, they were officially eliminated from playoff contention after they lost to the Nets. This is LeBron James's, first time in about, how many seasons? Is it 13 seasons
I
that
believe-
he hasn't made the playoffs? It's crazy. He hasn't made the playoffs since 2004, 2005, when it was just his second season as a member on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not only does James' 13-year playoff streak come to an end, but this also unveils 8 consecutive NBA playoff appearances that he now has to miss. So it just stops at 8 straight. Brian, what's your take on that?
You can't put this on LeBron. That's the first thing I'm going to mention. You cannot blame the Lakers missing the playoffs on LeBron James. LeBron James suffered injuries. He's getting older. People need to understand that.
17 games, man.
33 years old. He's starting to get there. He's still at his prime, but it seems like he might be getting to his point where he's starting to leave. Just a little bit. Starting to reach the end of his prime. I mean, how many games did he miss this season? 17? 17 games. If they would have won at least 8 of those, they would be fighting for an 8th seed right now in the West.
I'm sick of that talk of him slowing down. Okay, you see a little bit of Father Time, but it's not to the point where it's like, oh, he got to hang it up. I just think the people around him aren't good enough. That's just what it is. I was reading this article. LeBron needs shooters in order to, reach the finals. On the Cavs, he had Corver, he had Love. On the Lakers, I mean, who does he have as a pure shooter?
That's a good
Reggie
question.
Bullock? I mean, who does he have?
Yeah.
Lance Stevenson's not a shooter.
And he's also
Lonzo
not really
Ball?
playing. He's also hurt.
Exactly. He's hurt. Who else? Contavious Caldwell-Pope. He has his nights. He'll shoot a little bit, but he's not a pure shooter. It's just the guys around him. They're not good enough. That's what it all comes down to. And I feel bad for LeBron. He came here to reach playoff hopes. He even said, when I come here, we're going to go to the playoffs, without a doubt. He promised that. And look what happened, man. They're not in the playoffs.
He said they'll be coming soon. He said it's just a little setback. They're going to be coming back soon. Joe, what are your thoughts on the Lakers?
They lost to the Knicks, so whoever loses to the Knicks shouldn't be in the playoffs, and that's my take.
That's his take, all right.
Yeah.
Listen, though, the Lakers, I don't know what they can do next year. But let's go to this coaching staff right now for these Lakers. Luke Walton, you think he's going to last any longer?
Luke Walton's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Get him out of
By
here.
the end of the season, he's out of LA. And if they're not, I will break down Magic Johnson's door and make him fire.
Oh, you don't want Brian to go on right now.
Don't
Now,
make
listen, we got so many coaching candidacy potentials. I mean, we got Avery Johnson, coach for Alabama, who got fired by Alabama, Mark Jackson, but the biggest one is Jason Kidd. Do you think Jason Kidd has that lead front in being the head coach for the Lakers?
Jason Kidd got fired by the Bucks last year, and in replacement for Mike Budenholzer. Budenholzer's done a great job with the Bucks.
Budenholzer is amazing.
He is a phenomenal offensive-minded coach. Now, back to Kidd. Jason Kidd is a great coach. I'm not going to hold that down. He's a phenomenal player. But Jason Kidd needs a good situation with LeBron James. He has a great relationship with LeBron James, and that's what matters right now for the
I was
Lakers.
told LeBron James actually wants him. That's what I was told. Now, I don't know if that's true, but it's Jason Kidd, you know?
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think, man? You think LeBron James wants Jason Kidd to be the coach?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Why not?
Hey, never know, man. But we got Mark Jackson, Avery Johnson, Jason Kidd. Am I missing anybody? Oh, I heard this outrageous one. They said Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson?
No, I heard LeBron James hates Phil Jackson. Like, he wants no part of him. But I was told, listen, it'd be nice for LeBron James to have a legendary head coach. He can't get Greg Popovich, obviously. So they said, Phil Jackson. Me? No, I don't think that would work out.
That would never work. It's a horrible mix.
Nah, he would try to do the triangle with LeBron. You know, LeBron, he's ball dominant. He's not for that. He's not doing that. So who knows? I mean, I can't really say, who has that lead front of being the coach. I'm hearing a lot of Jason Kidd. I don't know about that one, though. Like,
I think Jason Kidd could definitely help the Lakers, but how much better is it going to be without Luke Walton?
I don't know, man. Listen, honestly, I just need to see them in the playoffs. I really wanted to see them in the playoffs and giving the Warriors a run for their money. But Houston might be in that position. What you think about them?
Yeah.
You want to switch the topic a little bit?
Houston Rockets are great. The Houston Rockets have been playing well ever since Chris Paul came back.
Oh,
And they've all been playing efficiently, and I'm very happy that the Rockets are finally hitting that high point again.
Definitely, man, definitely. Before we end here, Brock is retiring. He's retiring after I don't know how many seasons. How many seasons has it been, Joe?
Too many seasons.
Too many seasons. But this comes at a time where I didn't think he was going to retire. I thought he still had at least 2 years left in the tank. What'd you think?
Gronk's body was breaking down.
It was breaking
It's
down?
that simple. I mean, you can't even say anything else about
happens to every
it.
athlete.
He already has a Hall of Fame career right there.
He does.
He's already top 5 in every statistic for tight ends all time. If he would have played even more seasons, he would have been up there with Tony Gonzalez. He deserves to retire on a high note.
He definitely deserves to retire on a high note. Did he get MVP one season, I think?
I do not believe so, no.
Not? Okay. But anyway, Gronk was great. One of the greatest tight ends to ever go down in history. I'd definitely put him not even top 5, top 3. Honestly. I don't know. Top 3? No.
It's a little pushy, but I'll let you fly on that
Top
one.
4. Top 4. How about that?
I'll let you fly still.
You'll let me fly on that
Don't
one.
worry.
Listen, that's all we have for today on Off the Court. Tune in again next time. I'm Josh Lynch, your host, co-host Brian Mansell, joined again by our fact checker, Joe. We'll catch you guys.